and you've got such a talent. You've got a quite the local following here in Central New York. I got turned on to your music by one of my son's school teachers from a year ago, Nicole Brown.
Very cool.
And she said, dude, you got to check this guy out. So I checked him out, and I said, yeah. And then she's like, you got to get him on Skip Happens. And I said, yeah. And here we are.
Thank you, Nicole.
I
appreciate that so much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Tell us a little bit about Brian Michael.
So Brian Michael, I'm a hometown boy. I grew up not too far outside of Syracuse, about 15 minutes outside of Syracuse, in a town called Manlius, New York.
Oh yeah, know it well.
And I've been a huge country fan ever since I was a little boy. My mom was a huge influence for me.
Hang on, keep talking. I'll turn this down. There we go.
My mom was a huge influence for me, for sure, on the country music side. But I was in love with all kinds of music. Didn't matter what it was. I loved R&B. My older brothers had a huge influence on me as well, with pop music and R&B and things like that. And then my dad loved Neil Diamond and loves the Four Seasons and things like that. So I've really had a bunch of different genres that I've been exposed to. But country music, again, was kind of that one that really grabbed a hold of me as I grew older and older. And also my mom is actually one of 9. She's from Verona, New York.
Oh my gosh, one of 9.
Yeah, shout out to Verona, New York. But yeah, she's one
was a lot.
One of 9.
I know.
Her.
How many do you have?
4.
4.
Yeah.
All right.
So her mom and dad had their hands filled, but I'd spend a lot of my weekends down there, which was literally out in the middle of nowhere, just out in the cornfields and stuff, hanging out with all my cousins. I think I have. Sorry, Mom, if I get this wrong. I think I have like 32 first cousins.
Oh my God.
You have to at least.
Yeah, with 9 on your mother's side.
Yeah, so I think
That's
everyone had at
crazy.
least 4 kids or more. But, surrounded down there and that type of lifestyle and, country music, like I said, has just been something that's been a big part of me. But music overall has just been something I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid. And,
That's cool, man.
And here I am right now. I'm going after it.
But you split your time now from being here as well as Nashville.
I do. Yep. So, Syracuse. I technically live outside Syracuse, but in DeWitt right now. But
And we call it Syracuse.
This is home. This will always be home. I'm super proud to be from upstate New York and from the Syracuse, New York area. But I'm going back and forth to Nashville, working on new content, original content. And so we'll probably get into it. But I just recently finished up my debut EP, which I'm really, really excited about.
Let's get right into it. I want to hear about this. How many tracks do you have on it? 5, 6?
Yep, 5 songs on the
Okay.
EP. I just released my first single off of it. The song's called Easy Money.
Yeah.
And
Did that earlier.
Oh,
Love
yeah?
it. Yeah, love it.
Thumbs
Love
up, thumbs
it.
down?
Absolutely. Thumbs
right,
up.
that's what I wanna
Absolutely a
hear.
Thumbs up.
But yeah, we started off with that song. It has really got a summer vibe to it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why we went with it out of the gate. There's another song that's out called Someone Else's Smile too. Kind of that breakup song. But there's 3 more, coming down the pipe. But so far it's been amazing, just all of the positive feedback and the love that everyone from, the hometown has been giving me. It's just it's blown me away.
Did you record the whole thing in Nashville?
I did.
You didn't?
Yeah. So I was literally flying back and forth for the last. It's been about a 2-year process now, where I've been going back and forth. And
Thank God for Allegiant.
Yes. Yes.
how'd you know?
Because we have Deb's got a
Yeah.
son that lives there,
Yeah.
and I've got a lot of friends there from this area as well, and it's Allegiant because it's cheap and it's nonstop.
No,
Yeah, it was-
nonstop is the best.
That was the biggest blessing to me with all this whole process. Just like you said, the nonstop, but just like, a quick sell for you guys, Allegiance. But to be able to go to Nashville, back full round trip for a little over $200 was just crazy. I mean, when my friends go down to visit, it's like $600 from New York State.
Yeah.
Or from New York City. So
It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. So did you write all those, the 5 tracks that you have on your EP? Or
So it's been a mix. I met a lot of songwriters when I first got down to Nashville, and I kind of went down. I met this one gentleman for coffee one time, and he worked for a publishing company. I met him for coffee and told him a little bit about myself, that I was an artist, and I was looking to, see if he'd be willing to help me out. And so he actually was like, you know what, I think the most important thing is for you just to get content, start doing some demos and things like that before you start writing your songs and stuff like that. So he put me on with a different a couple publishing companies, and so I started cutting songs that were actually outside cuts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a bunch of the songs are outside cuts that are actually on the EP that I wasn't actually a part of on some of them.
Wow. How hard is it, you being a guy from Central New York, you have a dream of being a songwriter, a singer, and you head to Nashville. How hard is it to make these connections?
Well, Nashville, anyone's been there knows it's a really special place. The first time I ever went there, you know, I was blown away by just like, not alone just the city itself, but just the people, the quality of people there in Nashville are just so incredibly humble, kind, and just like sweet. You know, they're just really like, you know, open to meeting people and giving people an opportunity. You know, at least that was my experience from the jump. And so I didn't really know how to about going at, you know, always wanting to do music and perform and be an artist. I didn't really know how to go about doing it. So we were kind of talking about it before, but I was literally that guy like sliding into people's DMs like on Instagram, be like, hey, I'm an artist. Would you be willing to meet me for coffee? You know, I'm looking to, I'm looking for people to kind of work together to put together this EP. And so, again, that was just another experience for me that blew my mind of how people are willing to take, you know, give someone a shot, give someone a chance.
See, you're doing this on your own. You're out pushing yourself. You're making those connections. You're dropping into these DMs saying, dude, I want to meet you for coffee. You know, I think if somebody did that to me, I'd be going, who is this guy?
I agree.
What's going on? But you got to do what you got to do, because that's what's going to make it happen for you.
Yeah.
If you don't open up those doors, nobody's going to open those for you.
I agree. For me, it was just taking that first step and trying to step out. Like, I feel like in anything, you got to step outside your comfort zone and just allow yourself to be vulnerable, just to grow. And so I was just super gracious to the people that, like I said, it was mind blowing to see how many people were willing to meet. Like, obviously, all those relationships didn't work out. It wasn't a right fit. But the ones that I did, and you know, one in particular, the Daniel Ross, who actually produced the whole entire EP, who's just an incredible human being, most importantly, but an incredible songwriter and producer. You know, when him and I met, it was just kind of like that, you know, that spark from the start.
Now,
where
is
we
he
had a
someone
connection.
you just messaged blindly?
Yes. Right, Daniel?
And he met you.
So the short story there is that, I sent him a DM, and, you know, I just asked him, I'd kind of like seen some of the work or some of the records he had written before, and I just asked him, I was like, you know, I'm an artist. I'm going to be in town. I'm a country artist, and I would love to meet you for coffee to show you some of my stuff and see if you'd be willing to, you know, possibly work with me.
Now, some of the people that you may have met that you say, I'd like you to hear some of my music, I'd like to show you what I've written, have any of them right out said, I don't like this, or this is just not my style, or you need to go somewhere
That's a
else?
good question.
That's that part of rejection, because there is going to be some rejection in there.
Yeah, no, actually they were just all nice enough to just either not respond after the meeting or not text and get back to me after that. It was just kind of a nice way of saying, you know, I'm good, but, you know.
But then again, wouldn't you want to hear from somebody saying, hey, I'd liked your stuff, but
That's what I would want to hear.
if, you know, maybe you need to do this a little different, or maybe you need to change this. I think, all right, it's
Little
okay.
feedback.
Yeah, a
So
little
you know what to work
feedback,
on.
so I know what to work on. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I think that'd be huge. You know, anyone looking for feedback, even if it's something you don't necessarily want to hear, you know, it helps you kind of sharpen your craft. So, but yeah, you could tell, like, it was natural when I met some of the people I ended up working with. There was just connection, and the other people it just didn't make sense for them, or
For
just
them,
maybe they were
right.
too busy right now, and
that's true.
you know, it just kind of I never heard back from them, or just kind of just
You didn't let it get you down, though, right?
no.
Okay.
And you artists out
Don't.
there going
You
at this,
can't.
you got to
Yeah.
just like, it's tough some days, but you just have to, put one foot in front of the other, and just you got to believe in yourself and take risks. So, there's going to be a lot of people out there that don't like your music. You know, I'm sure people have heard Easy Money, and maybe it's not their favorite, but like, you know, there are a lot of people that will love your music. So just keep creating, keep believing in yourself, and chasing your dreams.
Some great advice right there for somebody that's trying to do what you're doing. That's some great advice, and it's great to hear it from you. Just starting out, being from this area in the Northeast, Central New York.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, you know, there's a lot of hurdles. There
is.
You know, and you just can't slow down, because if you slow down, you're not going to get over the hurdle. So,
You're actually in the world of sales. You're just selling yourself.
Yes.
It's exactly what it is. It's
in
like
our-
cold calling.
You're cold calling.
Picking up
Here
the
comes
dial.
the business
And
side
it's
of
10,
Deb.
for every 10 no's, you're going to get a yes.
That's exactly
our
what it is.
philosophy.
Deb. Yeah,
So,
that phone can feel heavy
Yeah.
as you know what some days, but yeah, you got to pick it up and just and do the the behaviors of the activity, try to make it work. But again, like as I continue to have success here, it's just I think the least I can do is turn around knowing that I was in those early on stages, and I knew what I would have liked to hear from someone else. So, trying to share those little nuggets that I've held on to now to try to help someone else have success. It's I think that's what it's all about.
When do you think you'll be heading back to Nash Vegas?
It's so funny. I actually got a call today saying,
Dude, where are you?
yeah, get back here. But I don't have any actual any flights booked right now, but I'll probably be getting that back there in the next couple
so
weeks.
now I'm going to be looking for you when I get on the airplane. Every time I go
Yeah,
to
I'll be
Nashville
looking for you
now, I'll
too,
be looking
Deb.
for you. So,
Yeah.
probably, I'm supposed to go in October, so.
Oh, are ya?
They have a
see.
seat with their name on it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. So, I'm actually looking up your song here because there's a way I can play a little bit of it, but
Yeah.
we'll get to it in just a few minutes.
Okay.
But it just what you're doing is amazing, and you have a dream, and you're going after your dream, and just making it all happen. Where you've been playing out though a lot locally, right?
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
some of the places you've been.
Yeah. So, well, obviously it's been,
COVID.
yeah.
Well, I know that, but still, you can, now we have the incidental music,
Right.
and people can enjoy a meal and listen to some great music.
Yeah, for sure. And this is just a way for me to, again, thank all of the local support and all the local bars and restaurants and wineries that I've been able to play because, this is where I want my hometown to get behind me. I want you guys are, so crucial to me as I early on in these stages. So some of the places I've recently been playing has been Brian's Landing up at
Yes,
Green Lakes.
that is beautiful there.
There is no better backdrop
Yeah,
around
than the
with that
lake.
to be playing right
Yeah,
there on the
yeah,
patio
yep,
and then looking
yep.
out and seeing Green Lake. So I've been playing there. I've played there. Right now I'm scheduled to play every single Thursday up there. But
Okay.
in the past I've played a lot out around town at Aware Vineyards.
Yeah,
I
been
played
there.
there. I've played down at Maxwell's. I've played downtown at Funk and Waffles. I actually played back at down there at the steakhouse there. Drawing a blank right now.
The one on Geddes
Down
Street?
in-
Right there on
Camillus?
up Clinton Square.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, now I got the brain fart.
See? I don't go
Anyways, but
downtown
you've
enough.
been,
So I've been all around. Yeah,
you've been playing a lot of local venues, and you've created quite
Prime-
the
Prime Steakhouse.
Prime Steakhouse. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
yeah. So I've been playing out all over, and
I've never
now-
been there. That's why I don't know it. I'm going to have a little discussion with my husband.
Lou, if you're
gonna
watching,
get me out. But yeah, so now that I have my own original music, I'm really looking forward to getting out even further and expanding to play now this original music for you guys. But again, upstate New York,
Oh, it's
love you
the
guys.
best.
Thank you so much for all your support. It means the world to me, and we're just getting started here. So
yeah, I can tell. And
North Country, woo,
Yeah,
woo.
well, there you go. Yeah, North Country, no doubt. But you got to love the Nashville area. You go out there. There's how many thousands of people are there trying to do what you're doing, and how many make it, and how many don't make it. You got to think about that a little bit.
It's mind blowing.
It is mind blowing.
I mean, you can walk in any bar at any time and just see someone that's just as just an incredible, talented.
and
human being.
I've said this right along. There may be 1,000 that are better than you, but there's 2,000 that are worse than you. And it seriously, it's like that. It's
is
just a
true.
wide
true.
variety. A lot of people, they're trying to live their dream. But you got to go out and just knock it out of the ballpark, and hopefully you're in the right place at the right time. And you never know. I mean, have you played at any of the places down on Broadway, the touristy type area? Have you been in Tootsie's or anywhere like
Yeah,
that?
I actually haven't been. I haven't done any shows yet in Nashville.
Okay.
So from the jump, going down there was meeting people, building relationships, going out, hanging at Red Door and all the other spots, and getting to know people. And then kind of once I kind of got the team that was on board to work with me, kind of just honing in on just really getting dialed in on working on the project and picking out the different songs that we wanted to cut. And so it's been just laser focused, blinders on. Let's get this EP. Let's get some original content done so we can get it out to the world.
How soon before you can do a whole album?
I mean, I don't want to stop. Right now, I'm in the process of continuing to cut more records. And so kind of the game plan right now, it's not exactly, don't hold me to this, but drop the first EP. I think I'm going to have another EP coming out, and then maybe do a full album from there, whether it's the combination of the 2 EPs or what. But that's just me kind of thinking on my own, as you said, kind of muscling this thing on my own, and with a handful of people selected as we work on this whole vision.
Who are the musicians that worked on your EP with you? Did you have studio musicians? Did you have to invest a whole lot of money to get these guys to play on your music, on your tracks?
Skip, you put me on the spot to remember exact names.
No.
I
think because there's so many people out there, that's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
That they contract with these studios, and anybody that comes in that needs musicians.
Yeah.
Whether you need a steel or whether you need a drummer or bass, whatever the case is.
That's exactly what it was. So, again, just so much credit to Daniel Ross. He's been literally
set it all up for you.
He has been the mastermind behind a lot of this project, and so because he is just such a a very well known and respected songwriter and producer in Nashville, he has those relationships in place, and so he already had those people that he knows are his go-tos when it comes to the artists that he's working with. So I've been so fortunate to be able to, have people like Jim Cooley mix my record. Like Jim Cooley mixed all of Luke Combs' records and mixed all of, all these guys. And so it's just like, I have to pinch myself a lot of the time just to be like, take it in. This is really special.
Do you find it challenging not being in Nashville full time and having to work from here or going back and forth?
You know what? It hasn't been too challenging. The only challenging part, and it actually this is maybe the only one blessing to COVID, the whole COVID situation, is where, because being songwriter, you want to be there and be in the mix and continue to build relationships. So that's made it tough to continue to build my network or my spiderweb of people and building relationships. But it has allowed me to be able to write and not have to be going back and forth all the time, which it's the new normal, doing these Zoom writes. And so I've been able to continue to stay, efficient and effective and continue to write and crank out songs. So
there are just some artists that feel like, oh, you have to be right there and you have to be in with everyone. And yet there have been so many artists that have been successful living in wherever, Oklahoma, Idaho, New York.
That is definitely the goal to get there. For me, I think it is important to be there, no doubt about it. And I love the community there, and it's important to get the community behind you. And so, it's just a lot of it has to do with just like timing and some of the things in COVID and all that other stuff that it just is, and being home, this will always be home to me, so I don't ever want to lose that. But I have been in, I have been looking, before COVID hit, I was looking at, apartments and things like that to have 2 locations, home, and then also have a place there where I can rest my head as well.
Well, it's good there around January, February, and March when we're in a blizzard. They just have some cold weather. You're not shoveling, so.
Yeah. And I also lucked out because one of my best friends lives down there, moved down there not too long ago, so.
So you have that connection, which is nice.
So I stay with him when I'm down there.
I was going to ask about, where do you stay when you go? Do you get a B&B or?
Yeah. No, I lucked out. That's another way I'm able to save a couple dollars and drive everything. I did stay in an Airbnb a couple times when I was down there because, my close buddy didn't move there until it's it's been a little over a year, I think, since he moved down there. So before that, I was doing Airbnbs, but now I'm able to.
Gets pricey.
After
a while.
Yeah, it sure does.
If you don't have the money coming in.
Yeah,
you can't put it out,
especially with the pricing in upstate New York. It's it's good living here. You don't have to be shelling out too much money, but yeah. So it's been a little mix of hanging out with my buddy and stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
I love this. And talking to somebody that's from the area just to kind of reflect on what it takes to live your dream and to make it happen. And you've got, like I mentioned before, all these local fans and. We're going to go, we know him. There's going to be that day.
I'm excited.
There's going to be that day where we go, we know him.
I can't wait
We
for
talked
that
to
day.
him.
Yeah.
Remember that back in, remember the year we had the pandemic?
We'll be hitting him up for backstage passes someday.
Dude, remember me?
Knock on wood. I was joking. Hopefully, I'll be coming back one time.
We'll get the
when-
all access passes.
Oh, no
There you
doubt
go.
about that.
There you go.
That's
No,
gonna
no,
be a
that'd be
special
cool.
day.
That'd be cool.
We did some showcases last year. We started up bringing in some artists from Nashville area and bringing them into Syracuse, and that went over so well. And we were going to continue it on. We had things scheduled, starting March, April. Well, of course, we have to wait. So next year, when we start that up again,
Very cool.
we'll have to have you
Yeah, absolutely.
come out to one of the events and.
Twist my arm. I'm not.
Well, we'll
I'm
have a
all
lot
out.
of people,
Yeah.
which is good. We have a lot
have a
of
good time.
We've already got some pretty good commitments from some pretty good artists.
Oh, man,
We'll
that's
put
great.
you right in with that mix, brother.
Awesome.
So
I appreciate
that's
that
pretty
so
cool.
much.
And matter of fact, I'm sure it's going to be more than one show. So as soon as
Oh.
this breaks, I mean, it just
Can't
people
happen
we
soon
talk
enough.
to, and we make it happen. So that's
I love
cool.
it.
So the
That's what it's
places that you're playing now locally, so the places can't advertise
No,
that they
no.
have music. So how would we find out where you're going to be playing?
That's a great question. Love that you asked that.
Just
so
hangs
yeah.
out incidentally,
Yeah.
watches people eat.
Yeah.
Just let us know where you're eating.
Just kind of sit.
you know what I
in the
mean.
Corner. Yeah. Exactly. No, but I actually just like I see some people making jokes of like, oh, I'll be hanging out over here, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just go on. I still and just say like Thursday night I'll be hanging out or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So
Well, it is a serious thing that we're going through right now, so
Oh,
we
for
have to be
sure.
careful how we do all that. And
Yep.
here we're fine. We're keeping more or less our distance, and we sanitize everything. So it's all good. But
Yeah.
yeah, you got to do what you got to do. It's a tough
Absolutely.
time. But you
It
said
is.
let's talk about the pandemic and the quarantine a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
this has made you work on things, and there's been a good side to this for
yeah.
you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the most important, through any tough times you go through, you got to focus on the positive, and that's what pulls you through. And so, this whole time for me has been really diving into the songwriting. You know what I mean? So, songwriting wasn't like my bread and butter. From the jump, a lot of the people I've met were songwriters first and then become artists, or kind of, it kind of just like evolves on its own and becomes songwriters. And so me, it's always been more of a performer and a singer, and then have been sharpening, my craft as far as a songwriter. So this has been an amazing time for me to just be cranking out, like I said, not being in Nashville every single day, but Zoom allowing me to really hone in, lock in, doing rights, getting the reps in to just like sharpen my pen, and sharpening, just playing the guitar and things like that to just, really make the most of it.
Yeah. What about the downside?
The downside is it's just I love
It
to
sucks.
perform. Yeah.
I mean, let's just be
So
honest.
it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been rough. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
not even being an artist that's not on the road yet full time. It's just been, you have those days when you're just like, when is this gonna end? But it's been tough, no doubt.
If you could, or if you were given the opportunity to open up for anybody,
Oh my God.
Who might that be?
who might that be?
Well,
That's
let's see. Pick one
I
male
don't
and
know.
one female.
And I'll think about it. Somebody, if you had that, if somebody came to you and said, "Hey, we're going to put you on the stage with this person," who would that person be? Open up for.
Yeah, I would love to open up for Kane Brown. I would love to open up for Thomas Rhett.
I love him. Thomas Rhett is great. And one thing I read today, because we have the CMAs coming up in November, talking about Kane Brown. Kane Brown has never been nominated for a CMA award. Do you know
Really?
that?
No, I didn't know that.
One, I
Found that
didn't
out.
know that, but two, he's still fairly new. Don't you think?
Kane?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, he did.
Okay, maybe a few years, but he should have. I mean, all his music has been,
his
top,
music
top
is right
notch.
on.
Yeah, he's-
And I'm really surprised. Now you take somebody like Miranda and Carrie,
Yeah.
and
I would love to open up for Carrie Underwood.
someone else
I mean,
hasn't
who
been
wouldn't?
nominated either.
come on.
I have a laundry list.
I
like
want to be the
Luke
MC
Bryan,
on stage.
Jason Aldean.
Hey, everybody, welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
those are some of the people that I think that have a similar, vibe to them. So I guess that's
Yeah.
why I say them. But like, it is a laundry list for me. I mean, Jason
Yeah,
Aldean, Luke
yeah.
Bryan, like
I get
Chris
it.
Stapleton, Tim McGraw. I mean, McGraw. It's-
No,
Somebody else hasn't been nominated, though. Didn't that just come up?
I don't know. I was reading about Kane Brown today. I was also reading about you got Miranda Lambert and Carrie Underwood, and it's the first time in 10 years that there have been two female artists on the Entertainer of the Year.
which is awesome.
Yeah, that is
You know?
awesome.
Yeah.
But then again, I have questions because if you look at some of the nominations, I don't have them here in front of me, but I saw that Brooks and Dunn were nominated for Duo of the Year.
I know. Go for
Oh, I didn't see that one
Now,
either.
I'm like,
I love them, but
I loved them, but yeah, didn't they kind of split up and then maybe get back together for a show or two, and then maybe Kix went off and did his radio thing, and Ronnie's over at the barn.
When
I
you're
mean,
Brooks and Dunn, they just say, "Hey, if you're willing to like let us throw you in there," they're probably like, "Yeah, I'll throw you in there."
Well,
I just
have
thought that was different.
they've been out
I'm not
of
dissing
pocket
it at
for a
all. I'm
while.
just
No, I hear
Now
you.
they're
I
kind
hear
of
you.
back on the
Yeah, probably it's
forefront,
tough for other
so-
people that are grinding to see that it might make them tough. Like, oh man, we gotta go up against them, but they're not even, you know.
Miranda Lambert, career, CMA nods. How many do you think?
She's up there. I feel like every year, just like I remember when Blake and her were dominating. It was
Oh,
like
Jesus.
he'd win, she'd win, he'd win, she win. But I don't know how many.
55.
What?
No way.
Yeah, way.
Oh,
55.
I would have been way off.
No, 55.
Wow.
Yep, 55. Career
Think
nominations.
Bonkers.
So- but I can remember her coming out on the CMAs, and Deb might have been sitting there. She was a seat filler for the CMA Awards for a lot of years. And we'd see her on TV. I'd be sitting here in my family room, and I go,
I've seen a lot being a seat filler
Yeah,
too.
but,
It's a lot of fun.
I
That
can
is
remember
cool.
Miranda coming out and doing, I just had a brain fart with the fire.
Her
Oh
song.
yeah, Little Red Wagon.
No, not that. That's when she was in the short shorts.
Of course, he remembers these little details.
But I'm just saying.
With the
Pounds
hair.
all around.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, kerosene. Kerosene was the
Oh,
song I
yeah.
was thinking of, and that
Okay.
was a bunch of years ago. But yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was
I don't
reading a
remember
whole
that.
bunch of these facts today, and it just kind of amazed me. That Kane Brown hasn't been mentioned yet, and,
Yeah.
and then Brooks and Dunn
That
being
is surprising.
nominated kind of made me scratch my head a little bit.
And then it wasn't Eric Church hasn't been,
yeah, there's
or
an
he
Eric.
wasn't.
He's up for it this
entertainer.
year though, isn't he?
Yeah,
Entertainer,
but
maybe.
didn't there was a big thing? Didn't he get dissed last year? Something
think
happened, and
something
Garth
happened.
got it or something. Now we love Garth. Garth is just phenomenal.
His story too.
Oh my God.
I mean, watching that story from where exactly like being in those the early on stages of my career, it's it just makes you, it gives you goosebumps.
See,
But,
there's
like,
a guy. Yeah, exactly. There's a guy that you should sit down with and have a talk because Garth is the coolest.
Can you set it up?
Hang on. I'll be right- I wish it was that easy.
You made it sound like if I could.
But no, Garth would, if you just went up and introduced yourself, he would talk and he will talk your ear off.
I believe it.
And he will find out everything about you. It'll be like you two were best friends. That's the type of guy he is. And that's the type of person anybody in country is, the way I see it.
I was just gonna say, I feel like that's a standard.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an experience. It was last summer. Just bringing back great memories. But so I had opened up in the VIP lounge at the Lakeview Amphitheater.
I was going to ask you about that. Sorry.
That's okay. We can get into it.
No,
But
because
just
somebody.
along those lines,
Okay.
I was. It was the night that Brad Paisley, the Brad Paisley show, and so in the VIP, for all of you that don't know, so in the VIP room, I go on, I play a set, the first act comes on, I shut down, first act comes on, then I go back in between the first act and the second act, then I go back on, and then whatever the final act, the headliner comes on. So I went back to. They let me know, like, well, you might have to play. People are coming back to the VIP room, just to continue to entertain. And I'm open, obviously, any ears I can get, hear me playing. I'm all about it. So I finish up the night, and I'm packing up all my stuff, getting ready to head home. And so I'm wheeling my stuff down, and I'm like, do a double take. I'm like, I think that was just Brad Paisley that just walked by. And I was like, I got to kind of circle back around because I was going to go down the elevator. And I was like, no, I'm going to go out the front now just to make sure. So anyway, it did end up being Brad Paisley. And so,
Sure it wasn't his
just being a
dad.
huge fan and,
Yeah.
and being this kid that just opened up in the VIP room, I just wanted to let him know that, I really enjoyed his show and I was
That's
in here
awesome.
and that.
So you
and
did go up and talk to him?
So I said hi, you
Yeah.
know, and just to say, what you were saying about people in country music and just these artists, is he just like was hanging out with his buddy and he just stopped, started talking to me. We had a great conversation. And at the end of the conversation, he just was like, he's like, so I'll see you down the line. And I was like,
There you
see you
go.
down the line.
He's
Yeah.
It was a
probably
very
one
cool
of the
moment
most,
for me,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
I don't even know what the word is, like nicest, humblest, greatest guys out there. And
Yeah.
he's so family oriented and he's just so down to earth. I can't even explain it. Like, I just love everything about his whole personality.
Yeah, he just literally was talking to me like, you know, we were buddies. And
Yeah,
just
but
shooting
see,
the breeze.
it's events like that where you're going to get noticed. It's you never know when somebody from the crew or maybe a manager, somebody's watching somebody else for whatever reason,
Yep.
and they see you. They see you performing in
Yeah.
between acts. They're going to go, "Who is this kid? This guy is good."
Expect
Yeah,
it when
I
you
agree.
least expect
Yes,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you said you saw Brad, but have you seen his dad? His dad is with him on every show, and his dad is probably
That was
wherever-
probably who was with him then. He went up to the veranda.
Did he
to
look
have a
like
cigar.
Brad?
I did. I was so like
He
lost
was so
in-
fixed on
Oh,
Brad.
really?
He wasn't
Yeah.
even looking at
I know, but
Brad.
the funny thing is, his dad.
I was bromancing.
His dad, well, Brad is a spitting image of his father, which is obviously a good thing. But
Yeah.
it was, you know, you could tell you're Brad Paisley's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so
they're
cool to have
always
his dad
together.
right there.
Whenever he did a show at the War Memorial, his dad was with him. Matter of fact, it was after the gig at the amphitheater. And his dad remembered. He goes, "Hey, aren't you the radio guy?" And he said,
Oh,
"Yeah,
really?
how are you?" You know, we got so it's like, "Yeah, how you been?"
That's really cool.
You know, one of those deals.
Yeah.
So
I think
his
Thomas
dad-
Red always has his dad with him too, which is really cool. Saw him perform when he brought his dad out. But
Yeah, well,
it's-
Red Atkins.
Yeah.
So, and how cool is that? That was at the War Memorial.
yes, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, that was cool.
that.
His dad was
Great
hanging
show.
out by the sound board for most of the evening. So
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
that was cool, and that was Red Atkins. So,
Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, it's like you said, it's just
so you were geeking.
salt of the earth. Oh, I was totally geeking.
So,
was.
so if you think about this, so one, you picked a great genre of music to
Yes.
be a part of. Do you think it would be like that in pop music or hip hop music or some other genre where you could just, where people, I don't know, I don't listen to a lot of it. I don't know all the artists. I know some of them and I know some of them are, but on a whole, do you think you'd have the same feeling being a part of that community as you would in the country community?
Well, I'm a big fan of pop music. I'm a big fan of R&B music. You know, so like I said, like there's not really a genre that I don't like. I had a tough time kind of connecting to heavy metal. I just couldn't.
Well,
I just
yeah.
couldn't.
Either you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like so, you know, one of my older brothers was a
Right.
huge R&B pop fan, and my other brother was a big like Eddie Vedder fan, and stuff like that. But like, so I was really influenced by pop and R&B music, so I really was into it. And actually, for you know, early on, you know, even though I, you know, like I said, I always wanted to do music. It was always a dream of mine. But I initially was kind of hesitant about going after country, even though I loved it, because I wasn't sure if because I didn't have the twang or I didn't have, you know, wasn't from the South, would I be accepted? And so it was till I saw the music starting to evolve and incredible people like Dan and Shay and other people that I was like, no. But like, just to speak to you, Deb, I went out, I was going back and forth to California to working on, because I was initially doing like more of a pop R&B thing. And I was working with an incredible production team out there called 1500 or Nothing. If you don't know about them, look them up. They're like some of the most incredibly talented people in the pop, R&B, hip-hop world. They actually did the whole project for Bruno Mars, the 24 Karat and all that. But I was hanging out with them, and they were amazing, just great people. But the industry out there, for me, it was a lot more harsh. It wasn't warm. It wasn't anything. And that's when I really started to do some
Those are
soul.
good words, the warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I
that you
like
get
that.
from-
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
And it was just a different vibe, you know, for me. And that's when I started doing a lot of soul searching. I was like, you know, is this who I am? Is this me? Do I want to be surrounding myself in this type of environment and type of just like vibe? And that's when I was like, no. And I just made that final decision that, you know, I love country music. It's who I am. I love everything about it, from the fan base to the music to, you know, it being all about stories being told. And that's when it was kind of that turning point. The experience I had out there was like, you
But
know,
what's great about that is you did go out and experience it.
I totally did.
So you can actually sit down and say to yourself, I made that conscious decision that this is where I belong.
Yeah.
I tried that. It just wasn't a fit for
yeah,
me.
it wasn't a part of
So-
me. It wasn't who I was. And just, like, and, you know, the whole country genre and going that direction is just like totally, you know, me to my core and what my heart was telling me.
I was trying to bring up one of your
Well, we're happy
songs,
you
but
went
my
there.
phone's not connecting. So I'm like, oh man, I want to play the song. But it's great. Just great information, and it's a lot of fun to talk to you and find out. You're not afraid to admit that you geek. I geeked over Reba McEntire back in the day. I
geek out all
had
the
a
time.
dog. A funny story. I had a dog. Her name was Reba. It was a yellow lab. Now you saw her. We have Miley upstairs now, but she was named after Reba McEntire. In that moment that I was telling you about before we turned the mics on, one moment that I will never ever forget is the fact that when I went backstage to meet Reba at the fair many years ago, first thing I said was, I named my dog after you.
I'm sure she did. She
That's
love
why
you.
I was saying, and she's like, "Oh, that's all right, darling." I'm like, I'm like, don't open the door. I'll go under it when I leave. So it was, but that's
you,
why
you
I
do
will
get a little starstruck.
I did, but that was the first. That was nowadays it's nothing. Deb and I are in Nashville quite often for seminars and stuff, and we go to the country radio seminar. And by the way, you should write those dates down. And if they do have it this time around, that's
February.
that's the time for you to be there.
Let's go.
Because anybody that's anybody, whether it's music, whether it's
Radio.
radio, whether it's promotions, the business side of everything that we do, everybody's there. It doesn't matter who they are. They're there.
Yeah.
Number one, they're awesome parties.
I was going to say, it's just a good time, period.
But all day long, the business side of things and networking and meeting and talking to these people and putting your face in front of a lot of radio programmers, from everybody from the big guy to the smallest guy. I mean, it's so important.
crucial,
It's very, very crucial
Yeah.
for you to do that. That's once you get rolling with this, they're going to say, you need to go to CRS. You need to be there. You need to be there for this.
Yeah.
And just kind of shake hands and kiss babies. And even if you
And just hang.
just hang, or maybe go to one of the places in town, you do a little bit of a showcase and invite a bunch of radio people down. You have somebody working for you. We got Chris over there on the camera, and just bring them to Nashville with you and say, hand out these lanyards. We're going to do a show.
Yeah.
Invite people to hear you.
Yep.
And you never know, because all it's going to take is one person, and it's
I
got to be
agree.
the right person.
Yep.
And then next
Right
thing you
place,
know,
right
it's like,
time.
who is this guy? We want to talk to this guy. I mean, we see it, been there,
Oh,
done
yeah, I
it.
bet.
So it's
No,
crazy.
I believe it. Yeah. I'm definitely going to, I would love to be a part of that weekend. I mean, there's not a bad, I feel like there's every weekend.
It's 4 days of no sleep.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, no sleep.
think I can
We
do
go
it.
home
Maybe I
exhausted.
can't.
We're on the plane sleeping on the way home.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, and you'd be foolish not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
That's
hoping
crazy.
we haven't heard yet about, because it's February and it'll be still kind of on the cusp of all this. So we're waiting to hear if it's going to happen or not. But
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
everything once it starts coming back is going to be coming back tenfold. It's like everybody's
Let's
waiting
hope.
to
Let's hope. I think a
get
lot
out
of
the gates here.
this usually starts an argument, but
Uh-oh.
no.
With
I mean,
me?
just not
No.
with you. Just with people in general. Everything that we've been going through, this pandemic, this quarantine, we now have a new reality. We have a new way of doing so many things. We have a new way of doing this podcast. We have a new way of working our jobs. It doesn't matter what it is. My wife is working from home every day now till further notice. And Deb, being a business owner, she's changed up the way she does things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we may get concerts back and stuff and God, I hope we do.
Oh my
But
God.
I just,
Please.
I think it's going to, no, and I'm sure that will happen, but how will it happen? There's
Yeah.
going to be, maybe they're going to cut down on the number of people that are going to be going to these things. Maybe there's going to be different setups with the seating. Maybe there's going to be, everything's going to change.
It is.
That's what I think. And people go, oh, I'll go back to normal. Well, I don't think it's going to. I think we now people are going to start, this is not meant to cause it.
No.
All of a sudden you're going to see all these messages. Hey, dude, screw
Well, you know
off.
what, though? It wouldn't be a bad thing.
But
if-
isn't that crazy how you can't speak?
Yeah,
anything you say is just like
Oh,
a
it's
chance
crazy.
to just get
It's
your
crazy.
head chopped
But-
off. And it's
But
like,
am I wrong to think like that?
No.
No,
Everyone
but
has-
And I mean, you can say, yeah, I don't agree with you. I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, I think it's a new reality.
I'm looking
Everyone
at it
has
this
the
way.
right to think what they want to think, and that's what I think. Not to go
I
on
love
that
you
path,
for
that.
but no, I just think that like none of us are right. We have everyone has their own opinion on it. You know what I mean? And you just have to respect. It's just no different than like I might not be someone that's all about like, this is an example, but I might not be someone that's like all about needing to wear a mask all the time. But it's just the fact of just I respect the other person that do and respect their take on it. That's all.
You wear a mask, you're respecting somebody. So,
So I was
it's a good thing.
thinking if we have concerts and they have half capacity, I'll have a way better seat at my next Kenny Chesney concert.
Yeah, you might be backstage.
So Kenny can play 3 nights
she's
in a row.
looking at it
Are
from
you
a whole
listening,
different
Kenny?
angle.
Please.
Yeah,
I love it.
So-
I love it. I love it. Is there a particular artist that you really look up to right now? I get your style is like it. You mentioned Kane Brown. I could see, when I watched one of your videos, I think you were doing it just reminded me a lot of Kane Brown.
Mm-hmm. Just probably the performance. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really, I love that side of it. I mean, it's all a performance in everyone's, but my style is just this very, some people have compared me to like, a term, obviously being Brian Michael, who I am, but like the Justin Timberlake of country music. Like I'm very like, energetic and dancing and performing and
You
stuff.
can't
It's
stop the
like,
feeling. Right?
yeah, it's very like picking up the guitar, but then like setting the guitar down and really getting out there and just
I got it the first
bringing
time.
bringing that high energy. Did I miss it?
Well,
No,
you
no, I
seem to
think
have
you
gotten
got
it
it.
after.
I think you got it.
I don't usually get things the first time, so I was proud of myself
Yeah,
there.
once in a while things can go in my head, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's such a tough question. Like you said, that I look up to. I don't know. I just have so many that there's not one specific person I'd say that I look up to right now. There's so many that I look up to that I just, I just kind of take a little bit of each artist that I really love and trying to, fit it to myself and my style.
Being a radio programmer, doing what I do, a bit of advice.
Uh-oh.
I love it. I'm all ears.
When she starts
I'm squinting,
squinting,
like, what's he
and
gonna
she's
say
looking
now?
at me, going, "Oh no, what's
No,
going to come out
I'm
of his
into it.
mouth?"
I might talk a lot and ramble a lot, but I
No,
got 2 ears
you're
for a reason.
awesome. This is so cool. Just when I ask you to look, who do you look up to, and you mentioned Kane Brown and whoever,
I'll open up for me. Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay to look up to them, but don't be like them.
Totally.
You want to be Brian Michael.
Totally.
You want to be doing your own thing. You
I
want to be
agree.
unique in your own. There's so many people that want to go out there and, I want to be the next Kane Brown. So they tried it. Why? We already got somebody like that.
I totally
we don't
agree.
need that. We
Yeah.
need a Brian Michael.
Absolutely. No,
That's
I
what we
agree.
need.
I think I'm always trying to study.
You feel better, Deb?
Yeah, I feel better now. Poor
No,
guy.
but it's true.
I'm like,
That's a absolutely true statement. And I've actually, not to burst your bubble, but I've heard that before, and it's important because you do look up
It's
to
okay.
people, but like I said, I think it's important to like look up to them and appreciate what they do, but also like the things you like about them, then take it and make it a part of your own craft in your own unique way. Like we all have our own
exactly.
influences. Like someone might like, whoever it may be, but it's just like just putting your own little twist and your own little touch.
exactly.
on there,
Exactly, man.
But,
Exactly.
yeah, so I just kind of say Kane Brown and Sam Hunt and Thomas Rhett because I feel people when they look at me, they always, of course, their first thing being new artists, like, oh, he reminds me of that, or he reminds me of that. So like that's why I usually get. It's like I'm like to most people, it's like a blend of Sam Hunt meets Kane Brown meets Thomas Rhett. But
well,
I don't know.
I
Again,
love all
let's just
3
keep
of
it
them.
Brian
That works
Michael.
for me.
Yeah. It really stinks.
What?
It would have been this weekend.
Oh, don't remind me. I probably will.
Oh,
I know this is.
Labor Day,
I'm being
the
Donnie.
fair.
I'm being Donnie Downer right now. But it would have been the Sam Hunt show at the amphitheater.
Well, I
I
was
think
supposed to
either
be in
Friday or Saturday.
Every single concert I had written in my planner, I had to put an X through, an X through, an X
Yeah,
through.
so
I
do
was
we.
like, oh.
It
Not
literally
one
is
of them.
like
Why couldn't they be incidental music? Why couldn't Sam Hunt come here and then they say, oh, we're having
All right, Deb.
something, I don't know, whatever you can label it.
no. I literally like this summer was gonna be special for me. I was building off last year's, but I was supposed to open up for Jason Aldean.
Nice.
Again, I was supposed to open up for Sam Hunt. I was supposed to open up for Chris Stapleton, and then Thomas Rhett was the other one. So I would have been in the VIP for all those. And then of course
Yeah.
I can go watch the show. But
How do you get that gig?
gosh, so I actually
That's kind of cool that you do that.
Yeah, I was fortunate to someone made an introduction to the people at Live Nation. It was kind of again cold calling type thing, but
Yeah.
like I just made the call. Someone was like, "Oh, there's this guy down at Live Nation. His name's this. Here's his contact. Like they have acts in there. You should probably call." So again, like instantly just having that background because I actually come from my dad was in sales, so I have sales in my blood, and
Good.
my day job was working sales and things like that. So I just picked up the phone and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm a local artist. I would love to, have the opportunity to open up in the VIP for any of your shows." And it was literally like they turned around, they wanted to hear some of my music. I sent it over, and then boom, It
Done.
was my first 3
So you
seasons.
called
It
someone
was,
here
it
on
was-
the local level, though, right?
Yeah, so I called this gentleman by the name of Scott
Okay.
over there and his assistant Jen, and yeah, the rest has been
Cool.
history. But it's been an amazing
Yeah.
relationship with Live Nation and them here. They had me at their holiday party after they
How
saw me
sweet.
perform, and so
Yeah.
I got to be there and kind of play for all the VIP clients, and it's been a great relationship.
That's
working
cool.
with
No,
Live
that's
Nation.
there's you got a foot in the door right there too.
Yeah, it's been great.
You seem to be working all the angles.
I'm trying. I'm trying to leave no stone unturned here. I
Oh,
got it. You
really?
know?
We're very
God.
spoiled with that.
Whatever it
amphitheater.
takes to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I honestly
Our
say
backyard.
I brag about it, but it's not only because I'm from here, but I've been to a lot of shows, and I think the Lakeview Amphitheater is like one of the best amphitheaters. There's not a bad spot on
No,
that
there isn't.
lawn or inside the pit, but like on the lawn, you can stand anywhere and you can see directly down
see
the
right
stage.
down.
The only people we hear from are the naysayers. That's the problem. You always hear the
haven't heard-
negative. You never hear the good. And there's
Have you?
more good than negative.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
that people, the naysayers are always like, I hate this. I don't want to walk on a dirt road. We don't want to do this. We don't want to use that porta john. You know, it's crazy. But you
I
never hear
heard
from the
anything.
good people.
Yeah, I
know.
I think that place is a
It is a
gem.
wonderful.
Just remember,
we're
it's
so
in our
lucky.
backyard. You can't get any better than that.
No,
You know?
and it's right on the water.
It's right
Yeah,
on the
I know.
water. It's
Absolutely beautiful.
And every last time when I played whatever show, like every time I ask some of the guys I've gotten the chance to meet, like
Mm-hmm.
Dirks Bentley, he's like, I love coming up here. But
Dirks
anyway,
is awesome.
I props to, like I said, North Country. I feel like up north, there's some a huge amount of just incredible country fans, and so
There is, absolutely.
we we have our own kind here, up here that's just really special, and so that's why I'm all about just like locking in and getting you all to hear my music and get your support. There's a lot of us that just love country music.
All right. What if we have, down the road, people are watching this because this is going to be posted. It's live right now, but it'll be posted on our Facebook page. And Skip Happens in the Country Music Fan Club. Not only that, but it's on our YouTube channel, Skip Happens. But let's talk about your channels, your socials. You have a website.
I do. So we're actually in the process of working on it right now, but
Okay.
it's www.brianmichaelmusic.com. And so that should be up and live here in the very near future. My socials are, for my Instagram handle, it's I'm Brian Michael, just no apostrophe. I'm Brian Michael. And then also on Twitter as well. On Facebook, it is Brian Michael, and then I have a fan page. It's Brian Michael Music. And then on TikTok, it's I'm Brian Michael. I got to get my TikTok game up a little bit.
I was going to
I
ask you
gotta get
about
my dance
TikTok.
on. I'm all about dancing, but I haven't really started. And then
I don't know.
It's also Brian Michael. I think it's I'm Brian Michael. It's new for Triller, which is a new app.
Oh, okay. I haven't worked with them.
But yeah, so the main two I've really been driving all of my stuff towards and trying to build awareness has been Instagram. I'm Brian Michael. And
I
then
find that Instagram, I have a very youthful social media team. They have taught me quite a bit over the last 6 months or so, and that Instagram is quite the place to be for.
yeah, it
artists.
is, and TikTok's just right there with it too. That's why I'm saying I need to take advantage of that.
I don't know. I can't. I'm
can't
having a
grasp
problem.
the TikTok.
I've tried it and I'm having a problem with it. Now my boss at work, I mean, we're close in age. He's all over it, and I'm like, dude, what? Then I watch some of the younger, like my daughters, and it's,
They crush it.
Okay, they crush it.
Yeah, I need to start crushing it. But yeah, that's been some people I talked to like, oh, TikTok, you need to be. Even that Gary V guy, he said from like 6 months ago, I follow him. He's like, if you're not on TikTok and you're an artist, you need to get there. So
TikTok.
That's
TikTok.
something I got to work on for sure. But yeah, those are the platforms, and you guys can please come and follow me on those, or friend me on Facebook, and all my information and stuff's there, and all my shows. Well, when I can announce
We'll
my
be
shows and
following
things like
you
that.
all over the place
Yeah,
now.
We
when
can,
he's
we can all link up and have a good time together
not
when I'm playing.
incidentally playing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Should start your own trio.
So-
the incidentally.
The incidentals.
Yeah, there you go. The incidentals.
incidentals.
Yeah.
Incidental. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. I did not.
So, quick question
And I'm
on
the
your.
radio
Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about something like that.
man. You never know. I work in the radio biz. But anyways,
So your EP has 5 songs.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of us out there that are a little naive, what's the difference between EP and album? Is there a certain number of songs that have to be put on an album that or called a record or the CD or versus the EP?
I believe it's once you cross over 7 songs,
I thought it was
then
7.
turns into an album.
I would say 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it is 8, but I know that's that's something that's newer to me. I mean, I've heard of an EP, I just never really did the back
So,
search on
because
it.
there's a lot more EPs going out now versus
Right.
Correct.
records.
Cheaper.
Sort of say. Yeah, must be. And actually, it's probably more easier exposure because there's only
And-
this 5 songs to listen to versus the 8 or 9.
I know a lot of artists are in a hurry to get their music out there. They don't have a full album ready to go.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
easier for them to put out 3 or 4 or 5 songs and say,
Yeah.
here's my EP.
Here you go.
It gives you a little taste of what I sound like.
I think that's probably spot on. I think it's
Yeah.
just people want to. I've noticed and just learning it from some of these other people I've gotten to getting close with, and the relationships I've been building in Nashville just are, as you notice, it's a lot of spoon feeding your content to your, not overwhelming them so that certain songs that you really believe in or think are special aren't going to get lost in so much. And there's so much music obviously coming out through, the Spotify's and Apple Music of the world and every, New Music Friday. So yeah, I think it's a way that you can get music out soon while working on the next one. And then why I think a lot of these artists' strategy is go EP 5-song, whatever, 4-song, 5-song EP, then do another one, then maybe another one. I mean, Chase Rice is about to do a part 3. He did part 1, part 2, then part 3. I know Hardy out of the gate did a 1 EP of only 4 songs, then another
Right.
4-song EP. And so, I mean, it's different for everyone, but I think that for me, that's what it worked, just being new, just giving them a little bit of Brian Michael, and then going to hit him again with another EP and like,
That's cool.
kind of go
Is there
about that one.
generally a time frame that you work with? Say you have your 5 songs now ready and you're starting to roll them out. So what would be your goal to have your next 5 ready? 6 months, a year? Like what do you, or is it just whenever it happens?
Yeah, I would like to have early in the new year the second
Oh,
EP
that
ready
quick?
to go. Yeah,
That's great.
At least ready, in loaded, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to, rush it.
Right.
And some of these songs I really want to focus on and kind of let them do their thing and build and for the fans out there to get a hold of them, really digest them and really sit with them and enjoy them and, share it and get it out there. So, but yeah, I'm constantly working on new content and, trying to have things as, for any artist, you're just trying to outdo your last
Right.
album or
Yeah.
last EP. So just making sure you're bringing your best music to the table for your fans every single time. And so,
That's cool.
yeah.
Have you thought about doing some Facebook shows, or have you?
I haven't done any actually. Just since I just having the EP just recently finishing up and just really just being again laser focused and kind of the blinders on with
Get
just
it.
getting the content done and then going there. So it's something that I want to start doing. We're gonna work on starting to do some like backyard sessions or some like little
would be
like
cool.
cool little things that we can continue to put out content for the fans. Something a little bit different, but have a little cool vibe to it. And
Yeah.
but it's something I plan on starting to do here. Especially if it continues to go.
It'd be a great way to get you out there. Plus, with as we mentioned, all the technology, and you can stream it, and there you are. I mean, that's what we're talking about, anyways. But
You can always
you know.
come and play in the pod zone.
yep, you can come down here in the pod zone.
I'm down. You got me. Any exposure is good exposure. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, we want to thank you for coming by tonight. It's been great.
It's been
it's good to
amazing,
know
guys.
you guys. I know you got your videographer over here. He's been Chris, right?
Yeah.
Chris has been recording it, and
Yeah.
of course, we're live on all these our socials, anyways.
All of our
And
socials.
No, I appreciate you guys so much. Seriously,
Yeah.
like
No, we
Chris and I
appreciate
were
you.
talking and when this whole idea and concept, like, hey, I think maybe we can get you on Skip Happens podcast, and I was like, come on. And they're like, no, I think we can make it happen. So for me to always be like listening to 92.1 The Wolf
I
and
appreciate
you and
that.
looking up to you and just
Oh,
like,
stop.
no, seriously. And so I just can't thank both of you enough for this
You're
opportunity to be able to, talk a little bit about
Oh, I
my
appreciate
story and
that.
get it out to all these upstate New York fans and people around the world.
Love your story
It's a blessing.
because you are a local guy.
Yeah.
And it proves a point that if you have a dream, go after it. You'll get it. It takes time. Doesn't happen overnight. You're from this area. I mean, when you think about the number of people in this area that have actually moved on and done something really good, whether it's sports or whether it's music, we've had quite a few when I think about it. That's
I wouldn't know all the sports people, but I know
no.
there is a lot of
well,
them.
Brianna
Yeah.
Stewart.
Oh yeah, Brianna. I
You
do
know,
know
her parents live right
Yeah.
over
She's
here.
literally like one of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, is I think she's broken every record. I think, right?
Oh yeah,
She's
she's
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree. But yeah, like you're saying, Skip. I mean, you just got to believe in yourself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't believe in yourself, then no one's gonna believe in you. And so, you just got to believe in yourself. You got to put in the hard work, and you just got to stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't give up, good things will happen. There's gonna be peaks. There's gonna be valleys. But you just got to kind of slow down and enjoy every step of the journey.
Exactly.
And I think that's what it's about. And so far, because of you guys out there, the fans and people like yourselves, this journey has been amazing. It truly has been a
Well,
blessing.
we're
I just
there
can't
for
wait.
you.
I can't wait to see what the
Yeah.
future holds for us. So
I
appreciate you guys.
have a little plaque that I picked up a while back that references what you were saying earlier. It says, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone."
It does.
So as long as you
No,
keep
it's
doing
spot
that,
That's so true.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
step
look
outside,
at it every day.
take risks,
Yep.
be vulnerable, and you will grow. Just like you're a little kid, you fall down, you get up.
Yep.
Next time you don't make that same mistake. But just
Falling
again,
and I can't get it.
everyone starts. Yeah, just like giving back to other people. Like anyone that's
Yeah,
going
I
after
know.
any dream, no matter what, it's like, it all starts with taking that first step, and just anything can happen if you put your mind to it. And so.
Very cool.
Well,
Go
you're a
get
great
it.
interviewer.
Go
I'll
get it.
tell you
Thank
that.
I mean, you make our job easy.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know
This is
about that.
Very easy.
I just
You
followed
do.
you guys' lead over here.
No,
so.
no, I don't know how much of a lead we had, but you're awesome. We thank you for coming by.
Thank you, guys.
Stopping in our pod zone and going on with Skip Happens, and of course with Deb and being the president and the founder of the Country Music Fan Club. And Deb, what is just so everybody knows, your Facebook and
Like us on Facebook and
Definitely.
like our page, so this way every time you have something exciting going on, we can share it with all of our followers. We're at the Country Music Fan Club.
Definitely.
And we are at Instagram, the official OCMFC. I think I have I really got to get
follow
that
me now.
memorized. My social. Actually, you did tag us back
Yep.
because
I think
saw
I tagged
that.
you tonight too.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
you know
Get on
where
board.
where we are.
Yeah,
and,
I do.
And our viewers will definitely love getting to see a performance. Our local viewers, at least.
Yeah, and jump on YouTube
Start
and
on YouTube.
subscribe to Skip Happens.
Yeah.
Because then you won't we don't want you to miss an episode.
Get on the
Yeah.
bandwagon.
We have a lot of the big stars. We have a lot of the newer artists.
it's-
So we
this
have a
is
good
great.
combination. And there's nights that I just do it with my son Zach. So
That's
and that's
amazing.
called Zach Attack
The
for
Zach
Dad.
Attack, yeah.
And
That's
so
great.
That's the best
we
right
have
there.
a lot of fun. So
That's the best.
Yeah, it's
Well,
pretty
thank you
awesome.
guys so much.
Thank you.
Seriously,
Thank you
this has
too.
been a great night, and